Hello students, today I am going to do Model Paper 5 GCE O-Level examination with you. This is paper 1 and you already know spaces are provided in paper 1 and you get two parts. Part A, 25 short questions and part B, 5 long questions, and you have to do all questions in paper 1. So spaces are there, so make sure that you write the answers in the spaces. So in the first page, you get part A, 1 to 7. Second page, questions 8 to 14. Then you get questions 15 to 20. And the last one, 21 to 25. And then you get part B, long questions, question number 1 and 2. And next page 3, 4, and the last page 5th question. So you know already each question in part A you get 2 marks and each question in part B you get 10 marks. So let's do model paper 5 paper 1 now. Let's take question number 1. 2.35 into 10 to the power 4 liters of water flows from a waterfall in a minute. Find the volume of water flows in 1 hour in scientific notation. So 60 minutes is 1 hour. So you have to multiply by 60. So volume for 1 minute is 2.35 into 10 to the power 4 liters. When you multiply by 60, you get volume of water flows in 1 hour. And you have to write down the value in scientific notation as well. So how you do that? We'll multiply by 6. 6 times 5, 30, and 3 remaining. 6 times 3, 18 plus 3, 21. 2 remaining and 6 times 2, 12 plus 2, 14. So 14.10. And here this 0 and this power 4, it becomes power 5. Is this in scientific notation? This is not in scientific notation because you have to write down the answer in between 1 and 9.999, something less than 10. So 14 is above 10, so you have to write 1.41 into, here 10 to the power 1 is there, and this 10 to the power 5. You get 10 to the power 6. Same base, different powers multiplication, you add the power. So 1.41 into 10 to the power 6. So that's the answer in scientific notation. So you get 2 marks for each question in part A. Question number 2. In ABC triangle, AB is equal to AC. So this is an isosceles triangle. Find the values of x and y. So that means these two angles are equal. So you can write 3x minus 70 is same as x plus 10. Now you can find out x using that. Take x to this side. 3x minus x becomes 2x. 70 plus 10, that's 80. Divide both sides by 2. You get x equals 40 degrees. X is 40. Now we have to find out y value. So what is y? The sum of angles in a triangle is 180 degrees. So y plus 3x minus 70. So we'll do 3 times 40, 120. 120 minus 70, that's 50 degrees. Plus, what about x plus 10? 40 plus 10, that's also 50. That's equal to 180. 50 and 50, 100. So y plus 100 is 180. So y becomes 80 degrees. 180 minus 100. So this is 80 degrees is the y angle. So you get 2 marks. 1 mark for finding x, 1 mark for finding y value. Question number 3. find factors. But when you look at the 2, you can't see factors. So we have to expand brackets. Expand the bracket. A squared, x squared. Then square of the last term. B squared, y squared. What's the middle term? Double of these 2. Plus 2ab xy. Now expand the other one. Same as before. First term squared. B squared, x squared. Square term of the last one. A squared, y squared. What's the middle term? Double of the 2 terms. But this is minus 2abxy. Can you see? This term and this term get cancelled out. You get a squared, x squared plus. I'll write this term second. B squared, x squared. B squared, y squared. And a squared, y squared. Now take 2 at a time and factorize. I can take x squared out. A squared plus b squared. Here from this I can take y squared out. Then b squared plus a squared means same as a squared plus b squared. Addition you can write in any order. So a squared plus b squared and you get x squared plus y squared. So this question is slightly different to what you normally get. We can't see at once. When you expand, some terms get cancelled out and you can afterwards easily factorize. So you get 2 marks for that. Question number 4. Find x, y, z terms in the arithmetic progression. We know in arithmetic progression, the common difference is there. So we can identify from this. 2 consecutive numbers are there. So what is the difference? 40 minus 33. That's 7. That means the difference between these 2 is also 7. So subtract 7 to get z. Z equals 33 minus 7. You get 6 and 2. 26 as z. Then again subtract 7 from that. So that becomes y. 26 minus 7. You get 9. 1. So 19. That's this. 19 minus 7. 12. How you find x? 12 minus 7. That's 5. So we found all the values for x, y, z. So you get 2 marks for that. Question number 5. Write down 3888 as a product of prime factors. Find the minimum values of h and k to get 3888 into h over k as a perfect square number. So we'll first find prime factors. We can see it's divisible by 2. 1 and 9, 4 and 4. Divide by 2 again. 9, 18, 7, 2. Divide again by 2. Divide by 2. Now we can divide by 3. Divide by 3. And again divide by 3. And another 3. So what are the factors? 3888 you can write. How many 2's? 1, 2, 3, 4. How many 3's? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's the product of prime factors. Then the next one, find the minimum value of h and k to get 3888 into h over k is a square number, perfect square number. So 3888 you can write 2 to the power 4 and 3 to the power 5. Now see, even power is there for 2. So that's, you can take the square root easily. But there's 5. The odd power is there. So you can't take the perfect square. So if you add another 3, we need to find the minimum value. If you put 1, 3, you get 3 to the power 6 and then you can take the square root easily. So what about the k value then? You can get 1. So you need to find out the minimum value of h and k. So we can take that one as 1. Then what happens if h is 3, k equals 1? So that means you get a square term, even power for 2 as well as 3. So those are the two values. So you get marks. 1 mark for finding prime factors and 1 mark for identifying h and k. Question number 6. Find the minimum cubic number that satisfies the inequality. 19 minus 9x greater than or equal to 8 minus 5, 2x minus 3. First expand brackets. You get 8 minus 5 times 2, 10. 10x. Minus into minus plus 15. 19 minus 9x equals that. Then take all terms to x terms to one side. I'll take 10x to this side. You get plus 10x minus 9x is greater than or equal to 8 plus 15, 23 minus 19. You get 4 here. And this is x. X greater than or equal to 4. So any number greater than or equal to 4. So you need to find out the minimum cubic number. What are cubic numbers? 1 to the power 3, that's 1. 2 to the power 3, that's 8. 3 to the power 3, that's 27. So more than 4. And what is the minimum cubic number you can get? That's 8. So 8 is the minimum cubic number. So you get 2 marks for that, 1 mark for solving the inequality and 1 mark for identifying the cubic number. Question number 7. Find the area of the shaded region. O is the center of the semicircle with radius 14. So this is 14 given. How we find out this? Now look at carefully. This is 14. This is 14. So 14 centimeter. If we can find out the area of this sector, this is 90 degree center angle. If we can find out the area of the sector minus area of the triangle, we can find out the shaded region. So what is the shaded region? Shaded region is equal to area of the sector. Quarter of a circle. This is 90 degrees. 1/4 pi r squared. 22/7 r. R is 14. 14 times 14 minus area of the triangle. This is a right angle triangle. So we can say half times base is 14, height is 14. So which one we can simplify? 7 with this 14, 2 with this 2 and then 2 times 11 and 2 times here 7. So 11 times 14 and 7 times 14. 14 is common. Take it out. You get 11 minus 7. So 14 into 11 minus 7 is 4. 4 times 4, 16. 1 remaining. 4 times 1, 4 plus 1, 5. 56 square centimeters is the shaded area. So you get 2 marks for that. Question number 8. If x squared plus 8x plus 12 is x plus a whole thing squared plus b, find the values of a and b. So that means you have to use completing square method to make a square term. What you do, you take the x term, divide by 2, that's 4. 4 squared, that's 16. So you have to add 16 to get the square term. But in order to get no difference, you have to subtract 12 as 16 as well. So this part you can write the square term x square root of 16 is 4 and whole thing squared. 12 minus 16, that's minus 4. So what's the a value? A value is 4. B value becomes minus 4. So 2 marks for that, 1 mark for identifying A and 1 mark for B value. Question number 9. Following table shows number of cars entered to Colombo City within an hour. What is the probability of selecting a car with more than 3 passengers in it? More than 3. So you can't take 3. So 4 and 5. So we can add these two. What's the total? 26 and 19. 45. What's the total for everything here? 24, 15, 16 and 45. 10, 20, then 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 100. Out of 100, 45 cars got more than 3 passengers. So that's the probability. You can simplify and write, divide by 5 and write 9 and 20. So 9 over 20. So 2 marks for that. Question number 10. So you have given 2 values are 2 consecutive odd numbers written in descending order. Find 2 numbers. Descending order means bigger to smaller and odd numbers are there. So the difference between the two should be 2 because 2 consecutive odd numbers. So we'll subtract. This is the larger one, this is the smaller one. So 8a plus 3 over 5 minus 7a minus 8 over 4 should be equal to 2. Now solve that. 5 and 4, lowest common multiple is 20. Then multiply 4 times this and 5 by this value. What you get? You get 2. So multiply. 5 times 8, 32. 4 times 3, 12. 5 times 7, 35. And 5 times 8, 40. This is plus, minus, minus, plus. Divide by 20. And this is equal to 2. 32 minus 35. You get minus 3a. 12 and 40. You get 52. And here 20 times 2, 40. We'll take minus 3a to the other side. 3a becomes 52 minus 40. You get 12. Is 3a. Divide by 3. A becomes 4. Now what's the question? A is 4. Find the 2 numbers. Now substitute a equals 4 there. So what are the 2 numbers? 8 times 4 plus 3 divided by 5. 32 plus 3, 35 divided by 5, that's 7. 7 times 4 minus 8 divided by 4. 28 minus 8, 20. 20 divided by 4, that's 5. So the two numbers are 7 and 5. So you get 2 marks for that. Question number 11. Write 7.5% as a proper fraction. So 7.5. So we can write 7.5 out of 100. 100% means, percentage means out of 100. Now we need to get rid of this decimal point. So we'll multiply by 10. 75 divided by 1000. Now simplify. Divide by 25. That's 3. 25 times 40. So 3 over 40 is the proper fraction. Question number 12. So 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 is 50. That's 1275. Find the value of 5 plus 10 plus 15 up to 250. Look at the pattern. Each and every number multiplied by 5. So you can write 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus up to 50. When you multiply it by 5, you get 5, 10 like that. So the sum of these numbers is 1275. So what's the sum of the other one? 5 times that. 5 times 1275 becomes 5 times 5, 25. 2 remaining. 5 times 7, 35 plus 2, 37. 3 remaining. 5 times 2, 10 plus 3, 13. And 1 remaining. 5 times 1, 5 plus 1, 6. So the answer is 6375 and you get 2 marks. Question number 14. Find the value of A and B. These 3 sides are equal. Now look at carefully. If this is A, this is also A. Isosceles triangle. So what is A? 180 minus 40, you get 140. And these 2 angles add up to 140. So 2A becomes 140. So what's A? You divide by 2. A becomes 70 degrees. Then you have to find out B. How can we find out B? Now can you see? This angle and this angle should be equal because AQ and AS are equal. Now look at B and 40. That should be equal to the exterior angle. So that's 70. So 70 is equal to 40 plus B. So B becomes 70 minus 40. That's 30 degrees. So 2 marks. 1 mark for identifying A and 1 mark for identifying B value. Question number 15. According to the information given, find the value of A. A is here. So we have to do a small construction. We did a similar question before. I want to draw parallel lines along this one and along C point. Parallel lines. Then what can you say about this? If this is 45, now these are parallel lines. If this is 45, this is 45. Then what is this angle? 105 minus 45. 60 degrees. This is 60. That is 60 means this part is 60. And this is 48 means this is 48. Now what is A? A value is 48 plus 60. you get 108 degrees. So to identify that, you need to construct the two parallel lines. You get 2 marks for it. Question number 16. Area of a square is 272.25 square centimeters. When side length is increased by 3a, area is 324. Find the value of a. So here, we don't know the side length. We will take as x. And if it increases by 3a, that means each side increases by 3a. Then the total area becomes 324. So what can you write? We can find out this length. So how you find out that? We know area, x into x squared is equal to 272.25. So we need to find out the value of x. So how you find out? 25 is, we know 5 times 5. So you get 0.5 there. 272 means which number? So do you know the trick to find out the square number? 27225. So here, this 25 is there. So 272 is any number multiplied by the next number. So 272, what are the factors? Divide and see. Here 16 times 17. You can write this one as 16 times 17. That means what's the square number? 16 square. So we can write 16 square because normally we take that number multiplied by the next. So 16 squared. So when you take the square root of this, you get 16.5. Is that okay? So you take the whole number. The trick is you don't think about the last 2 digits. 272 is 16 times 17. So take another one. 225 is 15 squared now. That means you can, when you ignore 25, 2 means 1 times 2. Then you get the lower number as this digit. So lower number should be 16 there. So 16.5 is the square root value. So after you get 16.5, you can find out the value of a. Now what it says, when you increase by 3a, the new volume is 324. So 324 means 3a plus 16.5 squared is equal to 324. Now, how can you find out a? When you take the square root, for both sides, we can find out the square term. So, what is 324? Three times 27, 3 times 9, 3 times 3. So, what's the square number? When you take pairs, so that means now what's the square number here? 3, 3, 2, 9 times 2, 18 squared. 18 squared is 324. So 3a plus 16.5 squared is also this. Ignore the square term. You can write 3a plus 16.5 is 18. So what is 3a? 3a equals 18 minus 16.5. 1.5, and A becomes divided by 3, 0.5. So here A is just in centimeters. This is in centimeters, 0.5 centimeters. So you get 2 marks for that. Question number 17. A is this, B is this. So both are 2 by 2 matrices. Find AB. You can multiply 2 by 2, 2 by 2. You can multiply. So how you multiply? 4, 5, 2, 3. 8 minus 5 minus 2, 4. You get 2 by 2 matrix. So what you do? First row, first column. 4 times 8, 32. 32 minus 10. 32 minus 10, that's 22. 4 times minus 5 minus 20. 5 times 4, 20. Minus 20 and plus 20, 0. 2 times 8, 16. 16 minus 6, that's 10. 2 times minus 5 minus 10. Minus 10 plus 12. Plus 2. So you get the multiplication. AB is this. So how many marks? Just 2 marks for every question in part A. Question number 18. Log 4 value is equal to 0.6020. Find the value of log 2.5. So how can we write log 2.5 in terms of log 4? How you get 2.5? So we can say 100 over 4. That means 10 divided by 4 is 2.5. Log 10 over 4. We know division you can write as subtraction. Log 10 minus log 4. What is log 10? Same base, same number. Log means 10 base. Same number, you get 1. Log 4 is 0.6020. Now subtract, you get 0, 8, 9, and here you need 4. 0.4980. Again, add and see. So this becomes 3 because when you add it to this one, 0, 8 plus 2, 10, 10 and here 7, 3. 0.3980. So 2 marks for that. Question number 19, factorize. So you have to factorize 21x squared minus xy minus 10y squared. You have to multiply these two. 21 times 10, 210. X squared, y squared. So you have to find out. This is negative. The difference is 1, minus 1. What are the factors of 210? So we'll see. Divide and see. So you get factors 2, 5, 3, 7. So 7 times 2, 14 and 5 times 3, 15. 14 times 15. Minus sign for the larger one. This should be x, y. So split the middle term. 21x squared plus 14xy minus 15xy minus 10y squared. Take 2 at a time. 7x, take it out. 3x plus 2y minus 5y, take it out. 3x plus 2y. Now 3x plus 2y is common. Take it out and you get 7x minus 5y. So those are the two factors. So you get 2 marks for that. Question number 20. Find the value of 5x plus 6y when x equals 2 over 5 and y equals 2 over 3. 5 into 2 over 5. 6 into 2 over 3. 5 and 5 get cancelled out. 3 with this 2. So 2 plus 2 times 2, 4. You get 6. So the answer is 6. 2 marks for that. Question number 21. M is a set such that x is in between 2 and 90. Both are included. X is a perfect square number. Write down all elements in M. Square numbers. What are the square numbers in between 2 and 90? 4 is the lowest number. Then 9. 4 times 4, 16. 25. 36. 49. 64. 81. 100 you can't write. So those are the square numbers. How many elements are there? NM means number of elements in M. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 numbers are there. 1 mark for this and 1 mark for writing the elements. Question number 22. Find the quadratic equation which has roots as x equals minus 2/3 and x equals 1 over 5. So you have to do reverse order. If the roots are these, what are the factors? So we'll multiply. This first, 3x equals minus 2. 5x equals 1. Then take it to this side and write down the factor. 3x plus 2 equals 0. 5x minus 1 equals 0. Take it to this side. So these are the two factors equate to 0. So you can write down the equation as 3x plus 2 and 5x minus 1 as the quadratic equation. So this is 0. So that means when y equals 0, we are finding the roots. So what's the equation? 3x plus 2, 5x minus 1. Multiply and write down the quadratic equation. 3 times 5, 15x squared. Minus 3 plus 10 plus 7x. 2 times minus 1 minus 2. So the quadratic equation becomes 15x squared plus 7x minus 2. 2 marks you are getting. Question number 23. 3 cubes with side length 3, 4, 5 melted and created 1 cube without any wastage. Find the length of that cube. So what's the volume of cube with length 3? 3 into 3 into 3. 3 to the power. That's 3 to the power 3. What's the volume of the cube with length 4? 4 to the power 3. So what's the volume of cube with length 5? 5 to the power 3. So that's the total volume. Total volume is the volume of the new one. So if A is one side, this is A cube. And we need to find A. 3 to the power 3, That's 27. What's 4 to the power 3? 4 times 4, 16. 16 times 4, 64. 5 to the power 3. 5 times 5, 25. 25 times 5, 125. What's the total? 7 plus 4, 11. 16, 1 remaining. 3, 9, 11 and 1 remaining. 216. Can you remember we did that before? What's cube root of 216? That's 6. 6 into 6, 36. 36 into 6 is 216. So 6 to the power 3 is a to the power 3. That means a should be 6 centimeters. So that's the side length of the new cube. So 2 marks for that. Question number 24. Circle theorems you have to use. O is the center of the circle. And find the values of A and B. Easily you can find A. When you take BC arc, this is the angle subtended at the center and this is the angle subtended on the circumference. So what is A? A is half of 80. Divide by 2, you get 40 degrees. How you find out B? Look at carefully and see. So when you take ABP triangle, this is 35 and we found A equals 40. So what should be this big angle? Sum of angles in a triangle, 180. So 180 minus 35 and 40. What you get? 75. So you get 105 as this angle. But we know this is 90 degrees. When you subtract 90 from 105, you get B angle. 5 and 1. 15 degrees is the B angle. So you get 2 marks for that. 1 mark for finding A and 1 mark for finding B value. 25th question. Find the probability of getting a point in the shaded region. So any place you can get. So that means we have to find out the area out of the total area. That's the probability. How you find out the area of the shaded part? That's A into 7A. So shaded area 7A square. What's the area of the rectangle? Total area 7A into 6 plus A. 7 plus 2, 9. 9A. 9 times 7, 63 A square. So what's the probability? Probability of getting the shaded area 7A squared divided by 63 A squared. A squared get cancelled out and you get 7 over. Now 7 times 9, 63. 1 and 9. So the probability is 1 over 9. So that's 2 marks. So we completed all 25 questions in part A. So make sure that you do all questions within 2 minutes because it worth only 2 marks for each question. So next we'll discuss part B. Let's take question number 1 in part B. So you get 3 parts there, part A, B, C, and this is about ratios and some fractional parts are there. So we'll do it separately. A car can travel 196 kilometers from 14 liters of petrol. If 1 liter cost 112 rupees, find the cost to travel 210 kilometers. So 196 kilometers, that's 14 liters of petrol. If it's 210 kilometers, how many liters you need? 14 divided by 196 into 210. What's the value? Divide by 7. It's not divisible by 7. So here divide by 2. We'll see whether you get a value. Divide by 2. And then 7 times. Yeah, 7 times it's divisible. 7 times 1, and for 28 that's 4. Then 7 times 2 and 7 times 30. 30 divided by 2, that's 15 liters you need. But we know 1 liter is 112. So 15 liters you multiplied by 112. What's the amount? 112 multiplied by 15. 10 and 5. So add it. That's 1680 rupees is the total cost for 210 kilometers. So how many marks for this step? You are getting 3 marks for the whole thing. So 3 marks for finding the total cost. Part B. A motor vehicle entered to a car park at 7:30 and removed the car at 13:45. That means 1:45 p.m. from the park. If 50 rupees is charged for the first hour and the remaining hours 40 rupees is charged for at most for 1 hour, find the cost charged for the motor vehicle. So first you need to find out how many hours are there. So 13:45 and 7:30. When you subtract, what you get? 6 hours and 15 minutes. So the first hour, 50 rupees. Then how many hours remaining? So that means 5 and 15 minutes. But even this is 15 minutes, they charge 1 hour cost. At most for 1 hour. For 1 or less, they charge 40 rupees. So this 5 and this 15 minutes means another 1 hour. So 6 hours are there. 6 times 40. You have to add. Now 50 plus 240. That means total charge is 290 rupees. So how many marks for that? So you are getting 3 marks for this answer. Part C. Sarath, Ajit, Sujit divided a certain amount among them. 1/3 of the amount for Sarath and divided the remaining amount 5:3 ratio between Ajit and Sujit. What is the ratio that 3 of them divided that amount? So 1/3 of the amount for Sarath. The remaining amount is 1 minus 1/3, that's 2/3. So the remaining amount divided into the ratio 5:3. So 2/3 divide by 5:3 ratio. So how many parts are there? 8 parts. Out of 8, 5 parts for Ajit, 3 parts for Sujit. So you divide by 8 parts. Divide by 8 means multiply by 1/8. 1 over 12 parts. Out of 1 over 12, Ajit gets 5 parts. So what's Ajit's part? 1 over 12 into 5. So what's Sujit's part? 1 over 12 into 3. Now as a fraction you can write 1 over 3, 5 over 12, 3 over 12. Multiply everything by 12. When you multiply by 12, you need to multiply this by 4. So you get 4 multiplied by 12, that's 5 then. When you multiply by 12, this becomes 3. So what is the ratio? 4 is to 5 is to 3. If the divided amount is 7,200, find the amount that Sujit received. So Sujit gets 3 parts out of that. So 3 parts out of 5 plus 4, 9, 9 plus 3, 12. Out of 12 into 7,200. So 3 times 1, 3 times 4. 7,200 divided by 4. 1, and for 32 that's 8. 1,800 rupees. So we'll see how many marks. 4 is to 5 is to 3, that's 2 marks. And 1,800, you get 2 marks. So we gave full 10 marks for the whole question. Let's do the next one. Question number 2. It's about perimeter, area of this figure. So we'll do it separately. A semicircle is removed from the sector with radius 84 centimeters and angle at the center is 60 degrees. What is the perimeter of the sector before removing the semicircle? So before removing means you have to find out the total length, outer length. So for that we need the arc length. Let's find out the arc length first. Arc length becomes, angle is 60. 60 divided by 360 into 2 pi r. Pi is 22 over 7. Radius is 84. Here you get 6. 6 times 1, 6 for 24, that's 14. 7 times 2, 14. You get 2 times 2, 4. 4 times 22. 88 square not square centimeters, that's centimeters because that's the arc length. Now what's the perimeter? Perimeter becomes 84 and another 84 and 88. This is before removing the semicircle. 8, 8, 16, 9 plus 8, 17. 17 plus 8, 25. So 256 centimeters is the perimeter of the sector before removing the semicircle. You get 2 marks for that. Part 2. What is the perimeter of the shaded part after removing the semicircle? So we found out this arc length. We have to find out this arc length. So this is a semicircle with, what's the radius? Now see, this whole thing is 84. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 equal parts are there. So 84 divided by 4, you get 21 centimeter is 1 part. That's the radius of the semicircle. So what's the arc length? Half into 2 pi r. Pi is 22 over 7. Now the radius we found, that's 21. 2 get cancelled out and 7 times 3. 3 times 22, that's 66 centimeters is the arc length. Now we can find out the perimeter of the shaded part. Perimeter of shaded part. What's the perimeter? 84. And what's the arc length we found before? Arc length 88. 84, 88. Now what is this one? That's 21. This is 21. So 21, 21, you get 42. And this arc length is 66. 6 plus 4, 10. 18, 20, 2 remaining. 10, 18, 20, 22, 28. 280 centimeters is the perimeter of the shaded region. So how many marks for this one? Another 2 marks. Part 3. Find the area of the sector before removing the semicircle. So area of the sector. So area becomes, this is 60 over 360 is 1 over 6 into pi r square. 22 over 7, radius is 84 into 84. 6 times 7, 42. 42 times 2, 84. So you get here 11 times this 2 and this 2, 4. 4 times 4, 16. And 4 times 8, 32 plus 1, 33. So how you multiply by 11 easily? You write 3 and 6 separately. 6 plus 3, 9. 3 and 3, 6. 3,696 square centimeters is the area of the sector. Two marks for that. Part 4, find the area of the shaded region after removing the semicircle. So that means we have to subtract the area of the semicircle. So what's the area of the semicircle? Half into pi into r squared. That's 21. 7 times 3, 2 times 11. So here 11 times 63. Again 6 and 3 write separately and 6 plus 3 becomes 9. 693 square centimeters. So the shaded area becomes, what's the full area? 3,696. 693 you have to remove. Subtract. 3003. 303 square centimeters is the area of the shaded part. So you are getting 4 marks for that. So we give 10 marks for the whole question. Let's take question number 3. That's about statistics. You have to draw the histogram and answer the questions. Following table gives the information about length of metal poles in a factory. Show this information in a histogram. Draw the frequency polygon on the histogram. We have to first check whether the widths are the same. 4 to 8, 8 to 12, 12 to 20, that's not the same. So if you take 4 to 8 is 1 unit, how many units are there here? So here we can take the difference is 4, here 4, but here 20 minus 12 is 8. 2 parts are there. So you have to divide this 20 by 2 then. So that means each bar, equal bars, you get 10. So that's what you have to do first before starting to draw. Now you can draw the bars. 4 to 8, 14. 8 to 12, that's 16. Now the next one, you get 20, but each bar 10. So 12 to 20, that's 10, up to 20. So here up to 20, and you can separate it like this, 10 each. So that's the histogram, and you have to draw the frequency polygon. So you take the mid values of each bar and connect to the mid value of the next one and the previous one. Now take the ruler and connect. That's the frequency polygon. So polygon means closed figure, so make sure that you draw this line as well. So this is the frequency polygon. So how many marks for each part? You get 3 for drawing the histogram and 2 for drawing the frequency polygon. So let's do the next part. Find the mean length of a metal pole. So we need to find out the mean length. So what you do? So we need to find the mid values. So mid values of the interval, I'll write here. This is 4 and 8. Add and divide by 2. 8 plus 4, 12. 12 divided by 2, 6. That means adding 2. This becomes 10. What's the mid value of this one? Not just adding 2, because the widths are different. 32 divided by 2. So that's 16. And now we can find out the mean value. That means total fx. Mid value is x and f is there. So 6 into 14 plus 10 into 16 plus 16 into 20. Divide by, what's the total? You get 50. Now multiply. 6 into 14, 84. 10 into 16, 160. 16 into 20, 320. Divide by 50. So what's the value? 4. 8 and 6, 14. 16. 1 remaining. 4, 5. 564 divided by 50. So what is 564 divided by 50? So we'll do long division. It's easy. Okay, so we'll do long division. 564 divided by 50. You get 1. 6 remaining. For 64, another 1. And 14 remaining. For 140, 50 times 2. 100 for 400. That's 50 times 8. So 11.28. This is centimeters is the mean length. What fraction of poles are more than 12 centimeter from the total number of poles? Above 12. That's 20 out of 50. So we can write as a fraction if you want. Multiply by 100%. You get 40%. Or as a fraction, you can write 2 over 5 as well. So how many marks for these two steps? 3 marks for finding the mean and 2 marks for finding the fraction or the percentage. So let's do question number 4. It's about Venn diagrams. Following information is given about 90 students. I can write 90 here. Who study music, M, dancing, D. 70 students study music. 40 students study dancing. And A number of students study both music and dancing. So A is here. B number of students are not studying neither music nor dancing. Include above information in the Venn diagram. So already B is given. Write regions A and B in set notation. So we can write in terms of A. This one you can write 70 minus A. This region we can write 40 minus A. That's all we can do. Now we need to write down the set notation for A. So A is the common region for M and D. So what's A? You can write A is M intersection D. That's the common region. So what is B? Everything outside the two circles. So M union D is everything inside. Outside becomes dash. Complement. That's the B's included there. So those are the two sets. Now let's see how many marks for that. You get 2 marks for writing down these 2 and you are getting 1 mark for identifying just the region. So writing down all information, just 1 mark. Part 3, write B in terms of A. Now we know this is A, this is 70, 40, this is 90, 70 minus A, 40 minus A. Now we have to write B in terms of A. We know the total is 90. So we can add all the region values, add up to 90. So we will take for 70, the full circle, 70 plus 40 minus A plus B is equal to 90. 70 plus 40, you get 110. Minus A plus B equals 90. You need to write B in terms of A. So we'll make B as the subject and take all terms to the other side. You get A minus 110 plus 90. So what you get? A, this is 110 minus 90. You get minus 20. So B is equal to A minus 20. If B equals 0, find the value of A. So we can easily find out A using the equation we got before. If B is 0, what's the value of A? A becomes 20. So how many marks for that? 1 mark. And A minus 20, you are getting 3 marks. So we'll do the last part. Part 5. If D is a subset of M, D is a subset of M, show this information on another Venn diagram and find the value of B. So we have to draw the other Venn diagram. So we'll first draw the entire set and we need to draw M first because M is the larger one and smaller one is D. So inside, because D is a subset of M. So this one is M and this one, that's D. D is a subset. Now we want to fill the values. Now we found out A is here. This is 70, 40, 70 minus A, 40 minus A there. 40 is the number of students study dancing. So this is 40. M means 70. Studying, those who are studying music. So this is 40, this is 70. What is this part? 70 minus 40, that's 30 here. Altogether, how many? Altogether 90. This is 90. So what's outside? 90 minus 70, that's 20. So 20 is the B value. So they're asking what's the B value if this is the diagram. So B equals 20. So how many marks for that? You are getting 3 marks for the diagram and finding the value. Altogether 3 marks, 2 and 1. So we gave 10 marks for the whole question. Let's do the last question in paper 1. Show root 2 on the number line. Can you remember in my first video in grade 11, real numbers, we discussed about that. How to show surd values on a number line. We have to simplify fraction and write as a definite decimal. So all these we did in grade 11 first video. So we'll do separately. Show root 2 on the number line. Can you remember? So if you want root 2, what we do, we can start from 0. So we can take the same distance. Now 1 is here. So we are taking length 1 to this side. And what happens here? If you take that one, using Pythagoras, if it's 1 and 1, 1 squared plus 1 squared, that means 2 squared. So 1, 1, 2. So if you take the square root value, so this represents root 2. So that's the hypotenuse. So we have to show this value on the number line. So what we do, we take the compass, take here to here distance and draw an arc. When you are drawing an arc, this represents root 2 on the number line. So 1.4 something. So that's how you show any surd value on the number line. So how many marks for that? 3 marks. Part B, write 514 over 160 as a simplified fraction. You divide and see. We can divide by 2. Divide by 2, that's 80. So we can't divide further. So we can keep as it is. You can't divide by 4, you can't. Then show that the simplified fraction obtained in part B is a definite decimal without using division. 257 over 80. How you identify whether it's a definite decimal? If you can write the denominator in terms of base 2 and 5, we say this is a definite decimal. So we'll see how we can write 80. Divide by 2, divide by 2, you get 20, 2 again, 10, divide by 2, 5, 5 and 1. We can divide 80 as 2 to the power 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 to the power 1. You can write in terms of base 2 and base 5. So therefore, this is a definite decimal. So how many marks for that? So we'll see how many marks. 1 mark here, 1 mark. So 2 marks there. So writing this one, and so 2 marks for that. So let's take the last part. Write the above fraction as a decimal. So what's the fraction? So that's a definite fraction decimal. So 257 divided by 80. We'll use long division. 80 times 3, 240. 17 remaining. 170, you get 2. 160. 1 remain. 10 remaining. 400, that's 1. 80, 200 remaining. What's the value? 80 times 2. That's 160. So 4 remaining now. 480 times 5. 400. So it's definite because you get the remainder 0. So what's the answer? 3.2125 as a decimal value. So how many marks for that? You are getting 4 marks for that, using long division and showing that it's a definite decimal. So that's the last question in paper 1 part B. So we covered the whole part in paper 1. Make sure that you complete all questions first and then watch my video to check your answers.